Hey guys, we just got back from the theaters. We saw Mickey 17. This is the latest Bong Joon-ho film. Well, sorry. And this is, let's see, starring Robert Pattinson. And as you can see from the trailer, it is a wacky, insane premise and concept. It's sci-fi. I love sci-fi films. And you have basically science fiction dark comedy in which Robert Pattinson's character is constantly killed, but it's okay because he is an expendable, which means in the future they just reprint his body, they retain some of his memories, and they spit him out. And so the film kind of deals with some of that. And so we just got back, and this is a hard film for me to kind of.
Well, I could go.
Go. You want to go first?
Yes. Honestly, for me, I was very disappointed. At first half, I thought it was okay. What holds it up for me is his acting. Like, he could change
Mickey 17,
different characters.
Mickey 18.
But I was very disappointed. Like, the longer it was like going down for me, the longer like.
But did you see Mickey 1 through 16?
No.
So you didn't have the context from the other movies?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
This is like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. But yeah, I was hoping to see some better kills once we get to the planet and stuff like that. But it's not really what it was. We get to just focus on just these two. And it takes a while to get to it. But some of this relationship stuff I don't really care about. Like, it goes nowhere. I know it's supposed to be some kind of comedy. I didn't find any of these jokes didn't land. I don't know what's up with the sauce lady. He's like, she's all about the sauce.
There is an obsession with sauce in this film that runs deep and goes throughout the entire damn film.
Not funny.
I guess it's supposed to be funny. This, to me, Joe, I agree completely with it's not funny. It is quirky. It is nonsensical. It is so peculiar. I gotta admit that I was entertained. And I was really I was transported to this world of stupidity and outrageousness, especially from the dude in charge? What's that guy's name?
Mark Ruffalo, I don't know his
Mark
character.
Ruffalo's Kenneth Marshall.
Kenneth.
Just he is
He's
a
just some
scene stealer. He's a pompous
yeah.
asshole that's in charge of this expedition to this other planet. You see a little bit of these snow creatures in the trailer. You think, oh, they're going to be the adversaries. There's going to be a lot of kills there. Does not go in that direction at all. In fact, goes in a completely opposite direction where I kind of liked it. This is really weird because this is a very odd, quirky, offbeat film. I think there's no chance this film is going to make its money back. I don't know if this is going to be a crowd pleaser. This is a peculiarity. It's an oddity, and I kind of like these kinds of films. It's very long.
Same.
It's very long
yes.
feeling. It's
Too
2
long.
hours and 17 minutes. But I gotta say, by the end, I enjoyed it. But there's just some type of comedy in here. I don't know if it's British comedy or your Australian comedy. There's some kind of tone in here that is foreign to me, but yet I was fascinated with. What do you think, Alex?
I really like the first half, what I thought we were getting into, because I think the sci-fi aspect is really interesting. Like, I love the concepts. There's some really interesting high-level sci-fi stuff where we're talking about, it's not just, oh, there's two of us. It's like, hey, when I used to, it's not spoilers to say that there's two Mickeys. That's in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he meets the other Mickey and he's like, look, it's not just about me being afraid of dying. I used to die, and then I would wake up in a new body. Now that there's two of us, if I die, and you live on forever. And they're explaining like these really kind of cool concepts.
Those are great concepts.
And then halfway through the movie, it just completely stops, and then we just go absolutely fucking nowhere. There's like this.
We go off the rails.
There's a pigeon suit that constantly gets recurred over and over.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not funny. The sauce thing isn't funny. I mean, there's so many things that I just think that someone's like, isn't that weird? It's like, yeah, but we're eating. Like, this movie feels like it's 4 hours long, and it's just bloated.
Yes,
and
it does.
And it just went off the rails. I don't dislike the movie. I just had higher hopes. I thought we were going to get something that was going to be, a little bit of his flavor, but in the sci-fi world. And then I was really disappointed when we were heading in that direction, and then we just kind of petered off and then did something nonsensical, not important at the end.
Yeah, even its best friend I thought was going to be a bigger part of it, Timo Steven, but really wasn't.
Oh, he was in the movie for like 5 minutes.
And so a lot of kind of characters that you expect to be in the film a lot and that are not, and concepts that are really intriguing, having to do with death, living on, and a lot of that gets dropped in favor of sci-fi, wacky, dark comedy, planet expedition that's a new colonization, and how is humanity. There's a lot of social commentary here that's done. I think most of it done not very well. Political comment. They're trying to dip their toes into that. Yeah, I get humanity's in it. I'm on your side. Humanity's fucking stupid and things like that. But it is just so over the top, so wacky, so nonsensical as it goes along that it is off the rails. But I guess that's the part that kind of intrigued me, because I couldn't really predict the direction of the film. Even though it didn't go in the direction that I was hoping for, I was still kind of entertained by the end. This is such an oddity. I still really don't know how to feel about it. I'm on the fence. Part of me kind of likes the insane tone and just the unpredictability of it, and then the other part of me is just like, I don't know. The tone and pacing is so weird. Yeah, it was like, okay, fever dream is the words that keep popping in my head. I felt like I was in a fever dream watching this thing.
Yeah, for me, like, I don't mind if it goes off the rail. Like in Parasite, it goes off the rail, but it's still tension-filled, and you're along for the ride. For this one, it goes off the rails. It's like, I don't want any part of this.
Yeah, I can agree with that. This is no Parasite. Parasite was like a fucking engaging, crossing.
Yeah, it gets crazy. You're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
Everybody really was intrigued by it. Yes. Other than people that hate slow movies, they're like, I don't want to watch that. That was boring or whatever.
There's a lot of reading for those people.
In that. To read. Yeah, exactly. But this one, although didn't go in the direction I thought it would, I was still fascinated with the direction. It's just a little bit too over-the-top cartoony and long for me to watch it again, but I was actually entertained the whole way through, and this one's kind of one you almost have to make up your own mind. Though, would I give you a recommendation to see it in theaters? No, I don't think you need to rush out and see this. In fact, like I said, I know it's not going to make its budget back. Its budget was $118 million. There's no fucking way. Well,
you gotta pay Robert.
South Korea. Maybe that's the humor that this is picking. It's all American actors, but maybe there's South Korean culture and jokes and sensibilities in it. That
sauce is boss.
The sauce is boss, Joe. They never said that in the film. That's our thing, which is better. That's funnier than anything there. Yeah. But because they got the right actors, okay? Yeah. They got the right actors. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, he did a great job. That's the only thing that was holding it up for me.
Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo. They are playing the characters that they were given, and they are definitely caricatures of people rather than characters. No real kind of character arcs for them. You know what they're going to do, and they do it all throughout. But I kind of liked this sci-fi tale that doesn't go in the traditional, Starship Troopers, explosions and things like that. It's just a way different kind of almost feel-good kind of film by the end. Quirky. I guess it's that surrealist, dark humor that not everybody is going to understand or appreciate, and I'm right on that line. What would you guys give as a final verdict to Mickey 7? What did you think about, before we do that, what did you think about all the sci-fi concepts in it? The rebirth and the printing machine.
I wish it kind of would have explored it a little bit more. Like, we should have just gone, like, okay, we have to leave the planet because we owe some loan sharks. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll move the plot there. And then we'll go to space, let us spend some time with the other Mickeys. Mm-hmm. I want to see his acting chops. Kind of like how it varies and stuff like that. And then once we get there, do some more, like, space exploration or something. I don't know.
Mickey 18 is such a fucking go-getter, angry asshole at times, and he explodes in one scene in Mickey's cabin, and it's so over the top, maybe a little too much, but it's compelling to watch.
Yeah,
and then Mickey 17 is such a pushover bitch.
Yeah,
as 18.
I would have figured 18 because I think for me, it would have been a nice buildup of his resentment going to 18 for Mark's character, Kenneth.
Yeah.
Like, over the time, he's, kind of grinding, biding his time.
We are at an age in CGI and body doubles that it is seamless. I mean, you see it in the trailer, the real payoff where she gets so excited. She's got 2 Robert Pattinsons. I'm sure this is some women's dream, even though when I look at him, this is a heartthrob sometimes.
They gave him a goofy haircut.
And some messed up
though,
teeth
right?
and everything. I know, but she was so excited to have sex with both of these, and that's one of the scenes that really, got you to perk up and at least adrenaline pumping, and you're paying attention. So, I mean, there's some payoff
and
there.
The other
but that
woman
actually
too.
Doesn't even get to pay off.
They don't pay any of that.
Yeah, and the other woman too, it doesn't really pay off.
Right. There's a lot of little subplots.
Yeah.
There's little I'm threatening to do something interesting with some of the characters, but it stays on track. Very simple. Very, Saturday morning cartoon with the intrepid, asshole. And a lot of the themes, I'm not really sure worked. They keep calling the corporation that's sending them, but they keep calling it the church and religion. So they cram a lot in here, and because all these ideas are just barely mentioned and none of them explored, you're I
feel like
wish
they
there
had
was more impact.
Yeah,
here.
and I felt like they had a lot of time because it felt like a fucking long-ass movie, but they didn't deal with the stuff that we actually wanted to.
If we
just
explore, maybe more intelligent people could be like, well, churches have become corporations, and that's the explanation for that. So I think there is potential for exploration in the greater themes here, but at least on screen, they chose, let's go with the, sci-fi ending over the top.
Yeah, there's tons of opportunities for people to be pretentious shitheads about it. Like, oh, you just don't get the themes. It's like mentioning a church can be a corporation, and just simply mentioning it twice in a movie is not exploring the concepts. The problem is this movie is completely and totally unfocused from about the halfway point. Yeah. It was laser focused in the beginning, and I don't know what fucking happened. Like, we're exploring all of these cool things.
Yep.
And then it's like
I got you. It was mainly about Mickey, his journey, being copied.
And then the whole the multiple thing that completely goes nowhere.
The shark.
It's like
then it becomes more about the aliens on the planet.
Yeah, and then it's like quirky for quirky's sake, and it's like I don't appreciate that. It's like it's like
none of the people are realistic.
Yeah, I don't mind if them not being realistic if it fits, but I think
surrealness.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like you mentioned the second girlfriend goes nowhere, totally useless. Penguin thing useless. Sauce thing useless. Ultimately, the church guy with the piercing useless.
So weird.
It's like he wanted to do everything in a movie.
Yeah.
Everything. And it feels like he focused for the first half.
The scientist with the universal translator that comes up with it in a day.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's very quirky, and they start talking to each other. So she's a part of an evil organization, never does anything but shit. She has a good heart.
We don't know. It needed to be a Netflix series. It needed 6 episodes, an hour and a half each or something if we're going to explore some of these things and do all these. But it's like, I think as a movie on its own, it wasn't very successful at telling a story from start to finish because it goes to crazy town.
But in the end, I liked it.
You wouldn't like it.
For me,
it is such an oddity that I'm just fascinated with it. And I liked it by the end. There were so many times I were wavering back and forth.
You say that. You gonna watch it again?
No, I'm not going to watch it again, but that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it.
He wouldn't watch it. He doesn't want to recommend that people go see it in theaters. Don't spend money on it. I get you.
This is a tough one.
I know.
It's a tough one.
What are you giving it?
I've been giving it a 4, honestly.
Whoa, shit.
Because, it really just dragged on, and I was honestly bored second half.
I knew if you were punched out of it,
I was.
it never gets you back. It'll never get
out.
you back. But
I
put myself back in.
Yeah.
When the alien creature subplot, it's like, you know what? I'm with the alien creatures here. I understand what's going
Yeah,
on.
I was like, yeah, kill them all. Go ahead and do it.
So 4 out of 10.
Yeah, not for me.
I think it's a barely above average movie, and it gets almost all of its points from the concept in the first half. And it lost so much steam towards the end, and we just kind of go to a place that I just don't think is. I think is infinitely less interesting than what we had in the beginning, and that's why I'm so disappointed. It's like we're doing something that's like I'm interested in, and then it's like, well,
then we do something completely different.
And it's not different in a way that I thought fit any of the themes or fit something that I was personally interested in. So I think this is a barely above average movie. I agree that you shouldn't see this in movie theaters. Wait till it gets on Max or Netflix or something. Save yourself the $22 for popcorn and a drink.
Yeah, fucking expensive.
So whereas I would say Parasite is like a 10 out of 10, that's transcendent across cultures. The
Willy Wonka too.
I don't know. I think Snowpiercer. I think I kind of like this on the same level as Snowpiercer because it's such a generic. I barely remember Snowpiercer. It's Chris Evans, right?
Yes.
And then Joe, you're the only one that's seen Mother.
It's a good thriller.
Not Mother with
no,
what's her face,
I didn't like
the
that
chick,
one.
Bong Joon-ho's Mother.
Yeah.
How, better or worse?
Yes, better.
This is okay. That's better
Mother,
than Mickey.
Mother, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's a tough one, man, because this could go either way for me. You guys know how much I like sci-fi. I like quirky, surrealist, dark comedies, but there are many elements in this that are repulsive, that are just like dumb theater kids acting out their stupid fantasy kind of stuff. But at the same time, there's some good stuff in here too. So it's like, you know, there's cringe moments, yes, but it still was a fascinating, entertaining watch for me. But I can recognize that it's a flawed take on it. And I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10. I do think it is above average. And I think that's the performances of Robert Pattinson, the two maniacal leads in Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo. Fascinating to watch, even though you know exactly kind of where it's going. It's just, it takes so many weird, goofy twists and turns that, and it seems unfocused. And if they would have tightened it up, like the boys said, if they would have focused on that first half elements, we could be in the same territory as Parasite and Mother and all these other ones. Instead, they went the direction, and I don't think it works quite as well, but it's still an interesting thing. So if you're into dark comedies, you know, theater kid jokes and weird, over-the-top political commentary, and then sci-fi,
wasting some time.
Maybe it's worth it.
$22.
Otherwise, just wait. Yeah, because I spent $35 on a burger and $7 on a Sprite because it was a Shirley Temple. This theater prices are ridiculous.
Start bringing my own shit.
Yeah. So that's our opinion on Mickey 17. Mixed, you know, flawed, but a fascinating oddity in the sci-fi genre, and something that's not going to make its money back. Just like, what was that other film that looked really good? Creator. That thing's like massive battles and sci-fi this, and I was like, there's no way it's making its money back. So
at least the aliens were cute.
Yeah.
Super adorable.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for Mickey 17. We'll go into a little bit of spoilers for you, for those that don't expect to ever watch it, or for those that have watched it and want to join us. We'll see you there. Thank you, guys, for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So essentially, Mickey, they kind of rush through a lot of his other deaths. We get to see maybe 4 or 5. I was hoping to see all of them and maybe get to know some of those characters in the premise. We didn't get
I think we see all of them, but they rush through.
Did we get to see all of them?
Because it's like there's a giant clump of them where he's dying of the virus in the air.
Oh, yeah, they lose a lot to the virus.
So
it's probably like 7 just to the virus once they get to the planet.
You hated this because he had a failed macaron business, right? And
Yes.
he's
Joe
like,
loves macarons.
I was like, how can you
fuck that
fail?
building? How can you fuck that business up? Well, they were planning to replace burgers. What the fuck are they talking about? Macaroons are going to be more popular than burgers, Wendy? This is the kind of theater kid joke I'm talking about.
Yeah,
what
like
is that?
Macaroons is like so good.
And they have these shirts that are like
fucking huge,
better than burgers, or I don't fucking know.
No, eating macarons is not a sin, is what it says.
Okay. And then we have a loan shark. So in order to get this idea, his friend, which
Timo?
Fucking, I don't remember what his friend's name. Timo, yeah. Gets him involved in this, and they open up a shop. It shuts down. They're fuck-ups, I guess. And the loan shark kills people in front of them, and they're serious. Give us our money, and we'll chase you to the ends of the earth. So they get this idea to go off of the earth, because right now in technology, there's expeditions to other fucking planets. Oh, yeah, meanwhile, there's also duplication. There's the copying, and it's super rare, and it's outlawed on Earth eventually, but not in space. And all the political stuff that they kind of show flashbacks to, as Mark Ruffalo's unsure of himself, but yet happy to be there, and making these speeches. It's quite odd, but somewhat sets up their voyage. And then once, why did they get? Why does he get selected again?
Because he's an expendable.
Yeah, he agrees to be an expendable.
Nobody really wants to do it because
there were, but it doesn't match up with the fanatics. So they do the Red Hat fanatics, and I guess they're kind of doing a Donald Trump thing. I don't understand it because he doesn't do anything that's Donald Trump-like, but he's got these maniacal followers with red hats that follow him. So I was like, why didn't one of those volunteer to go on the journey?
They know what being an expendable is.
So
you're going to chain die.
A single person on Earth was like, I'm going to do this.
To chain die over and over and over and over and over again?
She didn't believe it.
And why did he choose to?
The phone.
Oh, he's an idiot. I mean, Mickey's a he's like
book,
Forrest Gump in space.
Apparently, this is based on a book on, and in the book,
not wrong.
He's got like an 82 IQ.
He's smarter than that. The novel is Mickey 7. I'm curious why it only went to 7 and this one's 17. But in the novel, he's smarter. So, okay, he's really stupid, and I guess he does it in order to pay off his debts. So his debts are paid off, but not Timo's, because why? And in the end, the loan shark comes after them. And there's no fucking way the loan shark shows up.
This is like
millions of galactic miles away.
You could have just dropped it at that point. It's like, all right, they're leaving.
Drop the subplot.
Yes.
But no, they kept the subplot.
He wanted to include 100 subplots in this movie.
Just it's almost like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
How dare you?
There's these wacky, weird bits that just
There's
jump from one thing to the next.
7?
Right, and they tried to cram too much into that first. That's what I'm saying. So,
oh, you mean the movie?
Yeah, the movie. I haven't read the book, to be fair. Okay, so that's a great premise, because then as they go on the journey, he's getting slop and they're treating him like shit because he's an expendable, and he does all the dirty work. He's working on the outside, gets his hand chopped off. This is great stuff. I'm involved in this.
Yeah, the best stuff you see on the trailer, and that's honestly
that's it. That was a really
that's all you
well-cut
see.
trailer.
Yeah, and that's where I was like very disappointed. It's like, okay, we test out this new vaccine. Go check it out. He could be all like, oh, this is working great. Have a funny moment, and then he fucking dies. Something, but they didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, they don't. And where it starts to fall apart, and you don't really see much in the trailer, is he gets the girlfriend, and she's a cop. She's a soldier. She's a badass, and she kind of protects him. He's kind of a fuck up. And so he's got this relationship going, and it's the one good thing in his life that he holds on to. But there's all these flashback bits, like he's got trauma from his past when he was a kid, where he got his mom killed in a car. The first time he rode in the passenger seat, he pressed this button he's not supposed to press, and they got into an accident and died. I thought that was going to factor into the story. Nope. I thought that maybe he had additional lives, or there's other Mickeys that happened a long time ago, and that would be revealed that it wasn't actually the button press. None of that. It's just shown off and then mentioned a few times. And
later, 18 was like, you're an idiot. It had nothing to do with you hitting the button. Stop it. Yeah,
right. Like and that's the voice inside that shuts that kind of intrusive thoughts down, and Mickey 18 personifies that. Yeah. So I get it that it kind of wraps up in that small way, but there's just more intriguing directions that it could have gone with.
I honestly thought, like, at the very end when he pressed the red button, I thought that girl was going to explode and die.
What girl? Oh my God, Joe! No,
because it's a dark comedy. He was like, he's afraid
his girlfriend would explode and die.
Yeah, because it started with his mom with the red button. He's like, oh no, I did it. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna press this red button, and
this
she dies. He's like,
movie 42 or whatever.
What did you think of this stupid nightmare for no reason at the very end?
I liked it a lot, guys.
Did you?
I was like, yeah, because Toni Collette, I liked her in Hereditary, and it was actually genuinely creepy, and I'm like, man, and I liked it, but I hated it. Why? Because I would have loved more of these fucking elements throughout these fever dreams on this fucking journey. And we get at the very end, which almost feels tacked on or different. It's like he has the skill. Joon-ho has the skill.
He's got Oscars, man. Like, we know he's really good. I just think that they
not all of them
get a little
taste.
Yeah.
Right. So this one isn't a banger. He's having a little too much fun, and they got too wacky with it.
Or too much free reign. No one was really like, hey, man, maybe we should reel it in a little bit. This isn't, it's kind of going a crazy place.
He let his idea of the cult of personality of Mark Ruffalo's character run the movie. And I think that ran us in the wrong direction.
I think the movie is interesting when we're dealing with Mickey and it's Mickey-centric.
Psychology.
The second we started focusing on Mark Ruffalo, I was just less interested.
Right, and he was like, oh, no, everything he does is, he's being pompous, but then he has no confidence, and he's got, Toni Collette whispering in his ear, oh, you're doing great.
She's cutting off the rat tails of aliens and putting in a NutriBullet and being like, ooh, taste my sauce. And it's like, why are we spending time on this?
Sauce this, sauce that. And to show you an example of how many wasted characters that are intriguing there's this one lady that gets Mickey interested in the fucking program, the Expendable program. And she's a fascination. It's a femme fatale. The smell of her hair and this and that.
She's the CEO.
Sometimes she's like fucking gonna kill him, and then another time, it's like. But then you never see her again, and it's like, damn, man, we could have incorporated fascinating characters.
And Kai's character, kind of the same thing, really went nowhere.
Oh,
it's supposed to be like a little love interest, and then they have the whole dinner. And
Kai is the bisexual woman.
Yeah. Kenneth is like, oh, well, we have chosen you to repopulate.
I guess
we're gonna do
she's
it the
attractive.
old natural way.
And Mark wants to fuck her, I guess.
Yeah. But there was...
And it was getting weird. He kept talking about pure race, this and that. I'm like, what is the allegory here? Are we talking about, racists, Nazi? Like, what is? But then you look at everybody on the ship, and it's multicultural. It's very diverse. So I'm like, I'm not sure what the message here is.
He had a checklist of things he wanted to talk about, and
but it doesn't all fit together. The only thing he says is we here on this ship believe in fucking. And having sex, even though everybody is not allowed to have sex right now, even though Mickey and his girlfriend do have sex. But once we get to the planet, it's fucking sex party city because we need you to populate the planet.
But mainly him.
Other ships, elsewhere are inseminating through medical procedures, and those are boring. We're doing it the pure way with real meat. Even though he eats the most disgusting looking meat.
Because the church wants us to.
Well, that meat was hormone injected meat.
Yeah.
And
it was gel. It was disgusting, and he was eating it. And there's a scene where he wins the contest to be invited to talk to the head honchos.
Get the pigeon.
And he eats it, and he like fucking is dying on the floor, and then he gets injected with Purple Joe. And this Purple Joe, man. And there was a lot about this Purple Joe. What? You got injected with Purple Joe? Yeah. Did the Purple Joe work?
No.
Is it funny yet? Does Purple Joe get mentioned again? It does get mentioned by Mickey 18. He mentions, wait, you got injected by Purple Joe?
Yeah. But Mickey 17 almost got lucky with a new girl, and then the girls decided that they were going to split up the Mickeys. Like, August 17, you get 18.
Because you're not supposed to have multiples.
Yeah.
And then they do a flashback to when multiples happen, and then they go on this wild tangent of a serial killer who was copying himself. Do you see? This film has everything.
Whoa, bring it back.
He wanted every fucking idea that he had on that napkin.
That was fucking cool. I was like, oh, yeah. What else happened?
There's another movie right there. A serial killer that copies himself. Did I catch the real one? Are there more?
They did not catch the real one.
Anyway, so they finally get to the planet. Mickey falls into a fucking crack in the ice, and he thinks these monsters, these creatures, these aliens are gonna fucking eat him. Turns out they save his life. Turns out these creatures are intelligent and they can talk. And out of nowhere, I guess because the film is so fucking wacky, as they drop him off to the surface, he talks to them. Like, I could understand, is there like some serum that you can understand alien languages or some technology? No, he just starts to talk to them. And he's like mimicking them. And I guess they have a conversation and they understand.
He's mimicking,
There's a bond of some sort because, I guess they're just
You've never meowed at your cat before?
Yeah, okay, fine. But see, now you're defending the film. And
I'm defending the first half, and that's in the first half.
That is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then eventually he doesn't get killed, and that's how he ends up, because the creature saved him. You got two Mickeys. And then that alien subplot takes over. The bad humans capture they bring a rock. And this rock, they're going to etch all their fucking names in, but the rock has some babies in it. The humans get scared, run around, and the humans just boom, boom, just like murder one of the babies.
One of the roly-polies.
Then capture another baby. And Toni Collette does the most disgusting thing. She just cuts its tail off and just juices it and is drinking the tail juice. And the fucking creatures are pissed, and they're circling the ship. And there are so many creatures, and nobody's acting like a rational human being. No. And this is like some people can accept this, and some people ride with this.
Yeah, I could not. I could not accept it.
I could totally understand.
It happened whenever we got the baby.
Right.
Oh, you think?
What is happening? Why are they moving along with us as we transport the baby? You see them in the window. Get them the fucking baby back. So that's the plan that's hatched. Meanwhile, there was a subplot where, they got arrested for being multiples because 18 wants 17 to stand up for himself. So he goes to shoot Mark Ruffalo's character. They get arrested. They get put in jail, which are basically just these cages. But while they're being punished, Mark Ruffalo fucking horrendously puts a baby on a hook.
You're jumping ahead.
Yes. They were in jail.
They were in jail. Timo comes back. And Timo has to remind everyone that there's another subplot that is fucking dumb. And apparently an associate. And he's like, an associate of the guy, Lone Shark, 4 years away. We've been traveling in space for 4.5 years. But he has an associate. And somehow he's able to keep messages. And they knew he was on here, and he's like, you have to chop up one of the Mickeys into
minimum of like
13 pieces and send me a videotape.
This guy's not a very good friend.
Through space, and this goes on, and you're just sitting there
because at the beginning of the movie, the Lone Shark, one of the guys in charge of all the money, likes death.
Yeah.
He likes seeing death. So he's going to give him a snuff film. And he's supposed to be his friend, and he gives him a sob story, and he's like, "Yeah, no, just kill the easy one. The pathetic one, the one that he's been friends with the whole fucking time, because it's easier." And then, luckily, 18 and his girlfriend hatches a plan to knock the dudes out, and there's really no repercussions. This guy's a piece of shit, and by the end of the film, the movie treats him as a great guy.
He walks free.
Hey, he walks free. He actually gets attacked by the Lone Shark eventually on his own. Why the Lone Shark didn't go for Mickey is why I didn't understand. I was like, maybe Mickey did pay off his loans or something with this expendable operation. No. Well, then why does he only go after Timo?
It's never explained.
All right. Well, Timo manages to kill this guy 3 times his size, and then he's in court explaining, and he wins the court case, and it's all everybody clap. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And since Mark Ruffalo's like, I want to make a big thing about this, I want to go to the mama, and I want to have a speech boss to boss. None of this makes sense. And then I will press the button that will unleash the gas on everybody, killing all of these creatures while I'm out here. So I expected to see them all wearing gas masks. None of them are wearing gas masks. So I'm like, if your plan worked, how would it work? I don't understand. Did he have gas masks?
Maybe it's just for the bugs.
Maybe the gas doesn't affect humans? Because no,
they experimented
it does. They experimented on Mickey. He died a bunch of times for this gas. I don't get it. So it's a stupid plan, but then all the roly-polies notice that Mark Ruffalo's coming, so then they hide the mama, create fake mamas, and this rocket launcher they can't find the mama. That gives Mickey 18 enough time to be like, fuck that guy, I'm going to kill him. And because earlier the creatures, they give a universal translator in the same amount of time that they had that a random baby pops out of a rock. And then the next day, they have a universal translator.
It was just a prototype.
Shut the fuck up. Why are you doing this?
That's
You all
what he
have
said.
to take the opposite position. What the
If
you know what?
not
I'm
us-
done. I'm done.
if not
Someone
us-
explain the rest
If
of
not
this.
us, they will.
Yeah.
It's a
Explain the rest.
prototype
Yeah,
show.
yeah. Because you mentioned like someone like his movies are like
Yes.
shit to the pretentious flies of the internet. It's like, oh, this theme he effed.
But this is the opposite.
I know.
This movie is
I'm with
completely
you.
different in tone and
Oh, you haven't,
pacing and goofiness.
you haven't seen the stuff? It's so funny.
What stuff?
Like the Rotten Tomatoes reviews and stuff. It's hilarious.
Oh, no, I
well, because he won Best Picture, and so they're like, oh, wait a minute. If he won Best Picture, everything he does must be good.
No, this
and
is just him having fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was having fun
that's
with
it.
him.
Like, not all of them
it
are
was
bangers.
stupid as
To
fuck,
each
and I can
their
admit
own.
how cringy and stupid this
It's
is.
not for
Let's
me.
admit how cringy and stupid it is, and still have fun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Then there's like 30,000 monsters are circling the things. They're like, hey, they could shoot right through the ship, so we have to be careful. But then the monsters say, hey, we can emit a pitch that will explode your eyes and your brains and your body. And then they do like a little...
They could talk through the universal translator.
They do.
And
But
he's like, how do you know my name? Because at one point the monster says, your name, Mickey? He's like, how do you know my name? He goes, secret.
yeah, but then Timu was like, Mickey.
Yeah.
So it's like they probably heard all this stuff. And it turns out the monsters were bluffing. They can't make anyone explode.
But the monsters are hilarious.
They're so cute. They're
cute. They're hilarious. They make jokes. They bluff. So they can't actually admit, but they just make it
And
seem
then
like
at the end, they're just good friends. Like the scientists are hanging out with
these
like
are
the monsters.
great little
Oh
monsters.
yeah, I can't like so. Seeing this actually gives me hope that when they're talking about redoing like Gremlins and some of the other things, it's like if the CG is that good,
The CGI is good, and then so the bad government is gone because Mickey 18 sacrifices himself. He presses a button. Because I forgot this. Toni Collette's character comes up with a last-minute plan of getting more sauces. She says she's going to pit Mickey 17 versus 18. Both of you guys put your heads down in a face palm. She
It's
pits
so-
I'm
17 and
lowering my
18
score to a 5.
It's so stupid.
I was at a 6. I'm at a 5 now.
in order to cut 100 tails off of these creatures outside so she can make more sauce
For years.
For years. She pits him, and so he has this little remote that can either blow up 17 or 18. They run out there, and they immediately ignore that whole plot line, and she's like, why are they cutting the tail? It's a little funny.
No.
Okay, well, eventually, when Mickey 18 is like, hey, are you watching Big Mama? And he blows himself up with the unit and killing the,
Yeah, because she wanted, it's like, you killed one of
Mark
mine, you have
Ruffalo.
to kill one of yours.
yeah, do you think she feels bad after the fact?
Well, they
when-
killed 2.
I know.
When
Technically.
Mickey died for no reason because she wasn't going to actually kill all the humans because it was
That was
a bluff.
for the tail on the baby getting cut. So-
See, I thought he was just going to kill Kenneth. I was like, look,
Yeah, they were
kill,
gonna
kill Kenneth. Yeah,
push
fuck
that
guy.
fucking Marshall.
You can have two
Yeah.
Mickeys. They're fine.
Yeah, we
that
could've-
other, that
see,
other
that
girl wants
sucks.
a Mickey herself.
Exactly.
And I
She was
liked
still
Mickey
pissed. She's like,
18. I liked Mickey 18. I didn't want him to die. So when he died, I felt some emotion. And I was like, what the fuck? This stupid ass movie. And it's like, gosh, okay, so there's some artistry here. There's some underneath here, but it's just
Yeah,
kind of a mess.
Robert
and an
Pattinson did a
interesting
really good
mess.
job. He did such a good job.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason why.
So then you think this government's going to fall apart, but no, it turns out there was always a resistance movement on the ship, and they talking shit the whole time. And then all the geeks have their guns, and they're like, hey, you've been really mean to us, and we've been recording it. It's like,
Just now, though.
this fucking years-long journey. This is okay.
You just start doing it now.
They introduced. So this is
And then there's a whole government that pops up in a day.
80% through the movie, a shadow resistance shows up completely unannounced, and it's fucking ridiculous.
And then a shadow complete government with elected officials. What?
Yeah.
And there's a council, and Mickey's girlfriend is not quite the leader of the council.
but she will be next
But
year.
in the narrative, she's like, she will be next year, and she's going to take everything over and make changes. Like, but in order to do that, she has to kind of become a fucking tyrant herself, just like the first one, to like change all the laws. Anyway, so it's a little confusing, but no, she's a good person. So because she's a good person, it'll all work out. And and so you even see they changed their symbol into one of the little roly-polies. So now they're going to work together with the alien life. And man, they got lucky that this planet, because if they landed up on any other planet, they'd be fucking dead.
Yeah, I mean,
humanity's stupid. I guess that's the point.
I mean, there's it's a warning sign against the 40K universe, where all the humans are idiot, xenophobic assholes. Tyranids are nice people.
Don't you fucking
the Tyranids are nice.
Try to link 40K.
Have they ever tried communicating, Joe?
Well, Robert's trying to communicate right now, if you know what I mean. But
the zoanthropes, Joe, could possibly communicate. There used to be a race called the Zotes. There are 4.
What happened to them?
And they would be like the emissaries for the Tyranids. Well, they got fluffed away and everything rewritten. Yeah. But I just wanted you to know about it. But there's still a miniature, and I have one of them for Blood Bowl. So apparently that emissary race in between the Tyranids and the humans still play Blood Bowl.
All I'm saying is that xenophobia is not a good thing.
They're great linebackers, Joe. They're really good. What the fuck are you talking about? And what we just said here is just like Mickey 17. They go on these wild tangents that end up nowhere, and then in the end, okay. Anyways, that's our review for Mickey 17. It's up to you whether you want to go to the theater.
Skip this one, watch it on TV.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.